Hello, Mr. Terry. It's Tuesday. It's
Yes.
not Taco Tuesday.
Nope.
It's not 2 for Tuesday.
Nope.
Why it is?
Terry's Tuesday.
That's right, baby. Terry Tuesday. Kind of an odd day yesterday for us at Parks. We got DQ'd out of a pick four late with a just
That's right.
stupid ride. No offense, Frankie Pennington, but I don't know what you were doing. Coming down so far, 3 lanes down to whack a horse. You knew you were going to get disqualified. I can only imagine Jamie Ness was pleased to death to see that Frankie Pennington took 2 Jamie Ness's horses and went from a first and second place finish to a second and third place finish.
That's right. I had the other horse in my pick board also, as I think you did too, didn't you? The
Oh, yeah,
one and the 5. So
yeah, we had them both in there. So we
yeah,
would have had the pick 5, the pick 4. Pick 5 probably wouldn't have gotten, well, because the one horse won that first leg. It was your third pick, but just not in your pick 5. So
correct.
unfortunately, it wouldn't have mattered, but it did cost us a pick 5. I can only imagine the earwax in Frankie Pennington's ear was a little bit looser than normal after getting hollered at.
Yeah, probably.
I can imagine. Well, today on Terry Tuesday, we're going to do Horseshoe Indianapolis. I know Kentucky Downs is running today, but we didn't know that before we made our plans. So we're going to go ahead, and Terry did all of his work. Don't want to make Terry do twice the work for all the pay, of course.
Yeah.
But if you didn't get a chance to last night, make sure you check out the show with Jamie and Sean. They always do a tremendous job together with assistant trainer Sarah Schaefer, who works for Joseph Safi Jr. Another excellent show. Terry, I think that Jamie and Sean do a tremendous job. What do you think?
They do. Yeah, I really liked the show last night. It was really good. She's very informative too, Sarah, and I like her positive attitude. So, and the interviews that they do, the questions they ask and that are just top notch. And yeah, I enjoy it, a lot. So I watch it as much as I can.
That's why we brought Jamie in and gave her the big pay, Terry.
Yeah, the big zero, huh?
The big pay. No, we give her infinitely more than anybody else. We sent her a penny.
Okay, that's cool.
So in that case, the penny is infinitely more than anybody else, right?
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So the only way we get rewarded around here is when you folks give us thumbs up and likes on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So please hit the subscribe button. We're not all that far away from 2,000, so we'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Want to say good morning to Muhammad this morning. Muhammad, how do you do? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day today. We hope to have a wonderful day at Horseshoe Indianapolis, where a ton of scratches kind of really set us back a little bit this morning, Terry, in terms of getting everything ready to go. Hopefully we got that all under control now, and there are no more scratches. I was kind of shocked because I looked at the weather forecast last night and saw that it was supposed to be sunny out there today. So all the scratches kind of shocked me a bit. All right, so let's get cracking at Horseshoe Indianapolis, or better known and probably better named Indiana Grand. Race number 1, Terry's coming swinging out of the box with his best bet. Race number 1 is a 6 furlong claiming $5,000 race. So far, they have run at 6 furlongs. Hold on one second. I got too many windows open. They've run 132 races, 99 of which were run by horses that were in the first 3 at the first call. 26 went wire to wire. There is an inside 3 and 8 and out bias. There's a penalty 4 through 7, Terry. And of course, we have our new introduction to the plan here. That is our pace worksheet. You can see here, I got to click a couple of things real quick to make sure that it works correctly. This is not one of those races where we got a ton of scratches. All but the 4 have similar early pace numbers. The 7 horse might move over a little bit. The 6 horse, it's another that should kind of come over here. You don't really have a true front runner in this race, Terry, meaning there's not one that's gotten to the lead and made it gate to wire. The 2 horse would probably be the best fit for that, but 7 and the 6 might have a little bit more giddy up and go. Then here we see that the 5 horse does have a little bit of a late pace edge, should be part of the early story, Terry. You went ahead and made this horse your best bet with the one horse.
That's correct. Number 1, Sweet Justice. I'm going to try to beat this hard favorite, the 2. She has won 2 out of the last 3 races, winning the last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. She has the highest last speed rating and has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when he brings a horse that won a claiming race back to repeat again. Then number 2, which I believe is going to be the hard favorite, E Street Angel. She has won 2 out of the last 4 races, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 44% of the claiming races he has an entry in, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her jockey in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 14 races, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. And my third pick, number 3, Royal to Be. She won her last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. And then my fourth pick, number 5, Compressed Energy. She has a trainer who wins 20% of the claiming races he has an entry in, and her best dirt speed is close to the average winning speed.
We have a problem, Terry.
What?
We have a problem. Hey, Tom, how are you today? No predictor for this race? I am the predictor, Thomas. What are you talking about? I beat the predictor time in and time out. We have a problem, Terry. This is the battle of the best bets and long shots. Everybody go to Twitter and vote. Who's going to win? Terry or I on the battle of the long shots. So for me, I have the 5 horse in here, Compressed Energy. It was your 4th pick, so I'm glad to see it made your list of horses.
It did.
But Compressed Energy, as I mentioned in the pace workshop, there has the plus late pace advantage. No horse really has an outstanding early pace edge over any of the others in here. But this horse is carrying 9 pounds less than the next closest horse, as many as I think 14 versus a lot of others of these. The horse did run better fractions last out at 6 furlongs than 5.5 furlongs, and is making the 3rd start off of a layoff. The last time this horse had a 3-race cycle, the 3rd was the best of the bunch, but I really think that weight difference is going to make a difference, Tom. 9 pounds, what is that, about a length? Maybe a length and a quarter? So I think that's a difference maker. E Street Angel, somebody apparently who, like Bruce Springsteen, is an every other race horse. 1 race good, 1 race bad. 1 race good, 1 race bad. Well, last one was bad, so the order there says this one should be good. And this one is making its 3rd start off the layoff as well, running at a distance where it's comfortable, 4 times, 2 wins, and a second. Number 1, Sweet Justice, did tie for the top last race speed figure. Terry's best bet. The resume says that this is yet another that should be making its best effort in the 3rd start off a layoff. And then finally, number 7, Blue Vixen, was one of my left arrow horses in there. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between the 7 and any other horse that we haven't picked, or maybe any horse that we did pick so far. So let's take the 15-1 morning line odds. What do you say?
Yeah, it sounds good.
So Tom says 1/2 length equals 5 pounds. So we catch about 2 additional lengths then, about a length then, with the 5 horse catching a 9-pound weight break. Race number 2 is a 6 furlong race claiming $5,000. This race, 6 furlongs, 132 times, just 1 shy of 100, winning from speed as the racing style. 26 of the 132, so not a big number, going wire to wire. We do have an inside 3 and 8 out bias and a penalty 4 through 7, as we mentioned before. Race number 2 on our pace workshop. We did get a scratch here. I thought it could be a scratch that might impact the outcome of the race. We do have a lot of horses, as I like to say with Tom, that are going to clump together. The horses in here that should have paces that fit their style, the 9, the 2, and the 6. But we also see that the 8 and the 3 have some punch. 4 horses kind of out here by himself. You know, Terry, yesterday on our pace worksheet, we had a couple of bombs kind of upset us at Parks, if you remember. Yep. And both of them were squared off horses in my pace worksheet. And I was kicking myself for not having the 8 horse, what was one of the early speed types, and then that 7 that paid $77. So got DQ'd into the win, but the hell, that's how you get a win anyway, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
All wins count. So take us through your picks in race number 2, and then I'll walk through my box it up.
All right. I like number 6, Living on the something time.
Living on Tulsa time, baby. I don't know. Are the people in Tulsa
there you go. Yeah.
Like 5 to 10 minutes late or an hour late?
Yeah, I should look at these a little quicker and separate them. But anyway, this horse ran second in his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and he likes the distance. And then I like number one, Topping. He ran second in his last race and has the highest last speed rating. Number three, ID Man. He likes Horseshoe Indianapolis. He's won 4 races there and likes the distance, winning 2 out of 3 starts at today's distance. And then number 8, Guard Duty. He ran second in his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis and won 3 out of 6 starts at today's distance.
That's a good number, 50%. I'll take that, right?
Yeah.
And Tom would love to have a horse like that. As Tom always mentions, he likes horses that pay the bills.
That's right.
Winning 3 out of 6 will pay the bills. Well, for me, in race number 2, in my box it up, 4 horses, Exacta box, Trifecta box, Superfecta box. Idea Man tops the ticket, has the top late pace numbers in the field, moved closer to the front in his last race. I'm expecting a tick higher in terms of performance in round number 2 off the bench. Number 8, Guard Duty, missed in his last by just a little bit. Gets a weight break today, which could be the difference. Looks like 6 furlongs is the exact right distance for this horse. Well, that or a little bit longer. Going at 6 furlongs, 6 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds, no thirds. Every other distance, most of which have been shorter, 5 times out with a second and a third. So I think maybe you'll see this horse running at a mile before too long. Number 6, Living on Tulsa Time, did run better fractions last out. I know that the turf races are off, Terry, but I thought I saw that the track was listed as fast. If the track is off just a little bit today, Living on Tulsa Time is 2 for 2 on an off track. Trainer Claude Brownfield, though, just wins 1 out of 20 when he's first off the claim. That's only 5%, not a good number. I'll bet against the 95% angle on a 95% angle 95% of the time. Number 9, Touch of Chili Pepper is my left arrow horse in here. Was a tough call over the 1, but if you look at how these horses break when the gates open, Touch of Chili Pepper is always out of the gate sharply. So I'll take a horse that gets off to a fast start at a little bit of price in a race where speed absolutely 100% matters, Terry. Race number 3 at Horseshoe Indy. 1 mile on the turf, not. It's going to be a mile, I think, in 70 yards on the main track. I don't really have any corresponding data in terms of how they win at a mile and 70 yards. I'd imagine, like any other race at Horseshoe Indy, probably evens out a little bit more speed and closers. But we do have a race 3 workshop, and you can see here that a lot of horses, Terry, getting knocked out of this race. A 10, which was going to be a factor. The 8 was going to be a factor. The 9 was going to be a factor. Maybe the 1, the 4, the 7, probably not. The 6. So if you look at this, it really does kind of change the race shape a little bit. The 5 horse and the 11 horse will compete for the lead. I think it's the 11 horse that's going to move over here. These 2 are going to tail behind. And a lot of times in these short races, in terms of field depth, the horses that get to the front usually get to control the tempo. Terry, how do you see race number 5 playing out with this 4-horse field?
You mean race 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I like the number 5, Toma Tudu.
What was that again?
Toma Tudu. Todu. What? I don't know. Anyway,
1 more time. 3 times fast, Terry.
Toma Tudu.
That was 1.
Toma Tudu. Toma Tudu. Toma Tudu.
All right, there you go.
He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. He has a trainer, wins 23% of the races when he brings a horse back that's won its last claiming race. And then number 3, and I'm going to mess this up too, Duchess
named after Richard Duchessois, the guy who used to own Arlington Park before they sold it to Churchill Downs, who sold it to the Chicago Bears. What a bunch of jerks all around for getting horse racing out of Illinois.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, he finished in the money in the last 3 races, winning one of those starts. And the trainer who wins 62% of the time and bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And then I like number 11. Number 3?
62%?
62, yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good number. And then I had to check it twice. So anyway, number 11, Something Natural. He finished 3rd versus similar on the dirt, and his last race has the highest last race speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. And number 2, California Swing. He drops in class today and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And this race was really changed for me because there were so many scratches in it. So
Yeah, I think I had to redo the whole damn thing, Terry, to be honest
yeah.
with you. So number 5, Tomoturu, probably on the lead from the start to finish, either that or the 11. Did show better fractions last half of its last race. Number 11, Something Natural, did run the top last race speed figure, third off the bench, which is a 23% winner for trainer Cipriano Contreras. Duchessois, the 3-horse, first off the claim for trainer Faustovo Gutierrez. Is a 24% winner, but you mentioned that he just absolutely destroys it on the beaten favorite angle, although he didn't have the horse last time out. Number 2, California Swing. Hell, there's 4 horses in this field. Somebody had to be fourth, Terry. Might as well make it California Swing.
Yeah.
Race number 4 is the end of the opening pick 4. It's also Terry's Box It Up. This one is 1 mile. It's a maiden race on the main track, Terry. So far at 1 mile on the main track. So I would imagine that if you look at the last race, the mile and 70 yards would be pretty similar to this. 50 races, 39 won by speed, 14 of which went wire to wire. There is a rail penalty. 2 through 7 are fair. Get outside of 7, and once again, you will see a penalty, as they say in the what is it, like Univision when they have a soccer game on? Penalty. Yeah. All right. So looking at this race, Terry, we don't have any true front runners. You're going to get a blob of horses, as I like to say with my man Tom on Foreign Fridays, running together in a pack. Every single horse has some notation to it. So it looks like this is one of those races where anything can win. 4 and 5 are likely to be up front, although the 1 horse is going to give it a little chase. We do get a plus late pace advantage with the 3 horse. You got a couple first-time starters. The 7 horse is the only horse dropping in class, so you can make a case for a ton of these, Terry. That's probably why you made it your Box It Up.
And that's absolutely true. It is. I like number 3, Accidental Hero. She was well bet in her debut, and she ran second versus similar in that race and has a good 5-furlong workout on September 2nd. And then number 4, Rabbit Hound. She finished third versus Tougher in her only start. Drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has the highest last race speed rating. It's actually tied with another horse. And then number 7, Paddock Boss. She drops in class today and has a trainer jockey combination who has won 2 out of 3 races. And they added Lasix today to see how that helps. And then number 1, El Rayo. She has the highest last speed rating. She's tied with the horse above that I talked about. Should improve while returning to the dirt. And her jockey in the last 7 days have been in the money 8 out of 14 times, winning 4 of those, 2 seconds, 2 thirds.
Some good numbers right there as well, Terry. All right, so that's Terry's Box It Up in race number 4. For me, in race number 4, I'm going to go with number 3, just like you. Accidental Hero has a plus late pace advantage and nearly a plus advantage when you combine early pace and late pace. So that's a 10-point advantage. Could be close to the front in a race that really lacks a road runner. Number 4, Rabbit Hound showed some early juice in his debut before fading. Gets the first-time LASIK juice today. 37% win rate for trainer Brad Cox, which as much as that dude wins, it's hard to believe you can actually find an alpha angle for him. Number 7, Paddock Box is the only class dropper in the field, as I mentioned, flipping from turf to dirt. A closer getting first-time LASIK. Not always my favorite combination, but jockey Alex Archard and trainer Rudolphi, whatever, Brissett are my favorite combination, at least in this race anyway. They've run together 12 times in 2022, and they won 6 of them, Terry, a 50% hit rate. Another crazy number, right?
Yeah, it's great.
And then finally, number 2, Qualified, was a real tough call for me over the 1 horse, which is a left arrow horse, but the rail just sucks. And this is a $150,000 Brad Cox first-time starter. So you got Brad Cox with the big money horse, probably a pretty lethal combination.
Yep.
So along with Terry's Box It Up, race number 4 also ends the hot dog pick 4. Races 1, 2, 3, and 4. Terry, we both spent $18 today. Walk me through your thinking.
Well, I actually think that my best bet number one, but I was a little bit concerned about that hard favorite, the 2, so I put that in there too. I think the second race is a little bit wide open. Third race to me is the only thing I wished I had in there was the 11 horse. It was the one that really got screwed up with all the scratches. And then in the fourth race, again, I think it's pretty wide open, at least for those 3 horses.
Yeah, for me, I just did 3 by 2 by 2 by 3. I would like to have a little bit more coverage as well on those inside races, but I figured those were the 2 best horses in both of them. Although Terry likes the 6 in race number 2, so his 6 wins. I'm done, which was my third pick though. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah.
Race number 5 is Terry's long shot. We do not have a long shot best bet battle like we do in race number 1, but we do have the potential for a long shot best bet daily double in races 5 and 6. Race 5 is supposed to be 1 mile on the turf. It's going to head off to 1 mile and 70 yards. Like I said, probably similar to what you see with a 1 mile race where there's been 50 races, almost 80% of them won by horses that are fast. Only 14 of the 50 went wire to wire. It does look like there's an inside and outside penalty, so you want the horses in the middle. Race number 5, our pace worksheet, Terry, looks a little like this. Again, altered by some scratches, with the 4 horse getting popped out of this race, the 5 horse having the most late pace, the 3, which was never close, so probably wasn't ever going to factor into this spot as well. So 2 horses that get some special mention, the 8 horse, most likely your pace setter now, with the 4 horse being knocked out of the race. Was a main track only entrant, so it got in based on the scratches. Does have some late pace in here. 7 horse being a left arrow horse, normally closes, probably going to be running second, maybe third when the gates open. Terry, this one is your long shot, number 7, my left arrow horse. Right now, you got to be feeling good about that.
I do. Yeah, yesterday my long shot, just barely got beat. He ran second. I think he was beaten like half the length or something. He paid 11 something to place, so I was really calling for that one. I had it in my one of my tournaments. So anyway, I like number 7, Blessed with Luck. You know, he finished in the money in the last 6 races, so he likes to be in contention. He won one of those races, and his trainer wins 27% of the route races that he enters the horse, which is a pretty good percentage. And then number 1, the Boss Factor. He ran second versus similar on the dirt in his last race, and the trainer wins 52% of the time on races in the second race after he's claimed a horse. And then number 8, Moment. He won his last race at Horseshoe International, has the highest last race speed rating, and the trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 4 starts. And then number 6, Can't Hide From Me. He's a closer. We'll try to catch the leaders at the end.
All right. So in my picks for race number 5, I'm going to start off with the 1 horse, the Boss Factor. Hate the Rail. But how do you pass on Brittany Vandenberg winning at 52%, Terry? I had to double take on that one too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
52% second off of a claim, winning 12 of 23 starts. That's just nuts.
It is.
Number 8, Moment, is a main track only entrant in here, so it obviously did get in. Did run the top last race speed figure, and if the track is slightly off, he's run 9 times, 4 wins, 3 seconds, but still performed pretty well on fast dirt as well. Number 7, Blessed with Luck, probably something we all wish to be. It is my left arrow horse. Been in the money 6 out of 7 in 2022, but I really feel that they wanted to run this one on turf, not on the dirt. And then number 7, Can't Hide From Me. Well, looks like the best of the rest to me, Terry. Not a whole lot more to add, with all the scratches in this race for sure. Race 6, as we progress on the short card here today at Horseshoe Indianapolis, is a 5.5 furlongs, optional claiming $62,500 race. So a pretty good race right here, Terry.
Yeah.
You have 115 of these short sprints so far, 93 of which horses had some giddy up and go when the gates opened. You had 41 go wire to wire. Post positions fair 1 through 7. There is an 8 and out penalty. Looking at our pace setup in here, Terry, only horse that got scratched was the one horse, which could have been a factor in here because if you look at this, everybody wants to be on the lead. The 6 horse is the one that's likely to be a little bit faster than everybody else. Also has the top late pace. So, one of those things you can't pass, but you can't catch. We had a horse just like that yesterday at Parks win. This is my best bet of the day, Terry. There's a whole lot of reasons, but the most important reason of all, I think, is that the horse got a great name. What's that name, Terry?
His name is Smokin' Richie, which is named after you.
That's absolutely 100%. And guess what? Terry also likes Smoking Richie. Why?
I do, because he finished in the money in the last 6 races. He's won 3 of those starts, which means 50% of them he won. Has the highest last race speed rating. And then I like number 4, Flower Pecker. He finished second.
Be careful. This is a G-rated show, my friend.
I know that. He finished second in his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, has a high percentage winning trainer, and the shorter distance should help him. And then I like number 3, Cap de Frugo. He ran second in his last race. His early speed running style will help his chances. And he has the best start speed among today's starters. He actually tied with another horse. And then number 2, Mowens. He drops in class today. Has his best start speed is the fastest among today's starters, and has a jockey who in the last 7 days have been in the money 9 out of 12 times, winning 4th, 3 seconds, 2/3.
All right. So I think the 6 horse, just on name alone, Terry, is the best bet. Smokin' Richie has the top early pace and late pace numbers. Like I said in the pace worksheet there, you can't pass what you cannot catch.
That's right.
Second off the claim for trainer Larry Ravelli, which usually guy likes to run horses on turf more often, I think. But second start off a claim for Mr. Ravelli hits at a whopping 33%. Rock in Junebug. That's probably bringing back some memories for you, Terry. Should be part of the chase from Go. Better fractions last out at 6 furlongs versus 5.5 furlongs in the previous start. Flower Pecker, another with plenty of early pace, but downgraded a little bit for me because the horse showed some regression last out. So maybe peaked 2 races back. And then this probably describes my days of drinking a few too many. Is the lone P horse in the field will likely pick off fading speed at the end, but it's a Tom horse all the way around. Can it win? Yeah, probably not. But in the money, I think so, because I think if a lot of those horses chase the 6, those legs will tire at the end. Give everybody else a chance to get involved. Race 7 is another pretty good one race. This is a mile, supposed to be on the turf, so it's going to be a mile and 70 yards. Again, probably want to be fast, more tactical speed than anything else. Looks like there's a little bit of a rail penalty, and the 2 through 7 play fair. Race number 7, Terry, allowance $40,000. Our pace worksheet for race number 7 is another one that has been severely impacted by the scratches. This one really impacted because all of the early pace just got wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the 12, the 13, and the 14 getting in. The one horse, which was a pressure closer, out. Some of these horses, these tail end, but it's still a clump of horses trying to figure it out. Most of them have very similar early pace, very similar late pace figures. I think this race, which was a consideration for me, for my box it up, very well could be the most open race on the card.
Yeah, you're right about that. I originally liked one horse, and here's my best bet, and was going to single it in my prime rib. And when it was scratched, maybe change everything around. But anyway, in this race, I like number 9, Benny's Legacy. He closed to finish second on the dirt in his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 10, Jackson's Gold, has finished in the money in 5 out of 6 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So he likes the track. He won 2 of those, including the last race he ran there. Number 5, Silent Sonata. He ran 5th in his last race, but he had a lot of trouble during the race. And then number 7, Concrete Charlie, has a high percentage winning trainer and some good workouts.
All right. So in race number 7 for me, one that's negatively impacted by scratches, I'm going to go with the 12, Zolo could be the pace setter in here, and I think it might be tough to catch him if he gets on a lead with most of the other speed just completely, as we showed in the pace worksheet, just X'd out thanks to the scratches. Number 10, Jackson's Goal did run better fractions last out and better pace numbers all the way across the board in its last race. So from start to finish to the end, it's usually a pretty good sign that the horse is on the upswing. Benny's Legacy, much better late in his last race with a mini Z pattern, meaning the early pace numbers were here, then the mid pace numbers there, and then late pace back up. That's the same story for number 13, who was a more clear Z pattern. Boom, boom, boom. So I think you'll see the horse do a little bit better, although the 13's fractions last time out were a little bit on the slow side, catching the W there. Before we move on, Terry, before I forget, because sometimes that's what I do, is forget. Don't forget the Picks with the Professor, link down below in our description on Facebook and Yahoo, not Yahoo, YouTube. Click on the link if you like to play sports. Today's parlay of the day is I don't know who his parlay of the day is, but you have to check it out here to get the parlay of the day. Free parlay of the day. He doesn't have it in here today. So please click on the benchmark. Please click on the link and bookmark it. I'm messing up all of my words today. Bookmark at the play of the day so far as of the free parlays of the day are 2-1 with a 30.8% return on investment. So for every buck you put in, you got a $30 profit. So check that out. Check out the full breakdown of all the Major League Baseball games. Again, there's a link for that in there. While you're with the Picks for the Professor, get into the comment section. Be loud. Be obnoxious. Let them know where you came from. Number 14, Dasher Street at a price. Is that in that last race, Terry?
Yeah.
I mean, so in race number 7, right?
I think so.
All right. So the last real normal race of the day today is race number 8. There are a bunch of first-time starters in here, Terry, so there's really not a need to go through the pace setup. Race number 9 is one of those 330-yarder types, so I'm not going to bother talking about that. 5.5 furlongs on the last thoroughbred race of the day. As we mentioned, at 5.5 furlongs, you want to be fast, as you can imagine, right? At a track like Horseshoe Indianapolis, 115 races, 93 at the first call within the first 3, 41 going wire to wire. 1 through 7 is fair. You do get a little bit of a post penalty if you're wearing an 8 or out. So, of course, what do we do? What the hell with the bias? We just go outside horses all the way.
Yeah,
so it looks like 14
true.
is the number for Tom in race number 8, I think.
I think you're right. Butch is best. Yeah.
Mm.
This weight race is really wide open. Race 8. I like the number 11, CJ Storm. He's a first-time starter whose dam's got one winner from one starter, and he has a bullet workout of September 7th.
Mm.
And then number 10, Backyard Justice. He's also a first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 2 starters.
You know what Backyard Justice is, Terry?
No.
It's a knuckle sandwich, my friend.
Oh, boy. Anyway, he has a good 4 furlong workout. And then number 5, Outstanding Justice. He finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has the highest last speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, which is not really fantastic because there's so many non-first-time starters. So anyway, and then Tom's pick number 14.
No, he said that was 14 was in race number 7.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, in race
horse
number,
neither one of us have.
No, 8, number 14, Butch's Best. He's a first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 6 starters. One of those winners was a stakes winner, and his breeding suits today's distance.
So, with me, Terry, when these horse races with these maidens, you have to pick a bucket, right? In my opinion, you put all the first-time starters in one bucket, all the experienced horses in the other bucket. So I went with all of the first-time starters here in my picks. I went with number 10, Backyard Justice. Don't like the post, although there really weren't any scratches in here, so he's not really moving inside much. But Anthony Granite's by far the best with first-time starters with the trainers in here. Not even a close for second. Number 7, Forever Friends, a little bit of a price in here. Why not? Looking at that August 6th and July 14th workouts as a sign of its potential, just as good as any of the others. I think it's like 15-1 morning line, so hopefully that one comes home. Number 4, San Ronan. Decent work's getting ready, and one of the few horses in here that's carrying a little less weight. Number 11, CJ Storm does, as you mentioned, Terry, have that bullet and go angle. But the trainer, you know what? How many wins he has in 41 tries, Terry, with first-time starters?
No, how many?
As many as you and I do.
None.
None. 0 for 41. Kind of hard to bet on that. In the jockey, Angela Rodriguez Prentice only has 4% winners, so a lot of numbers working against the 11 horse there.
Yeah.
But that bullet and go is an alpha angle, so you got a lot to kind of consider there. It is the last race of the day, Terry, in terms of thoroughbreds, so it means that it is going to be our prime rib pick 4. Let's take a look at how we single this out. Terry's going to put all of his money to work. I wanted to actually add another horse at the end of mine, but that would have taken my ticket to $108. I only ever let Terry go over the number sometimes. Take us through your thinking. You think it's coming down to the 9 and 10 in race number 7?
Well, that's a tough race set. And the reason that I did that was that my 9 is 20-1 in the morning line. I'm hoping to get a long shot, but with all the scratches, he's not going to stay at 20-1. But there's several scratches in there. I like to try to key one race with a couple of horses. And then originally I was in that 7th race. I was going to go with just one horse. And then, of course, they scratched that horse. But I think the last 5 races are really wide open. It's really hard to figure out some key horse. So I thought, well, why not go with the one that seems like going to be the longest shot, and then give a backup horse as the 10, which I see as your second pick.
Yeah, for me, I was looking at this and I was going to put 2 horses in race number 6, but I said, if I get beat by the 4, I'm going to be really upset. So I went ahead and went 3 deep there. I did want to maybe add the 12 at the end of race number 8. That was the only other option I was thinking in there. So that's my ticket. 3 by 3 by 4 by 5. I feel like some of those last 2 races are crazy wide open. I feel like a lot of these races are crazy wide open. On another card that I would rate a B.
Yeah.
A C card. The last race of the day is a 330-yard maiden $18,000 quarter horse race, Terry. I don't even care what the order is. You put yours in. I just almost did the exact opposite of what you did. So tell us why you picked what you picked, and know that I just went ahead and tried to pick the ones I felt like were close to having a good shot to win.
Well, this is a wide open race too. The number 5, Tough Secret, I liked him. He finished 3rd in his last race. But then if you go down the line, number 6, ER Crazy Secret, she's a filly, and she finished 3rd in her last race. Next to the last race. And then in the last race, she finished 2nd. So she's kind of improving. Number 7, GV Dynamite. He finished 3rd in his last race, but he had bobbled at the start, which a lot of these quarter horses have problems at the start. And then number 1, Carter's Knockout. He finished 3rd in his last race, only losing by a neck. If I was playing this race, which I might, I would box those 4 horses.
He's going to all it. Don't let him lie to you.
I'd box them for for an exacta, trifecta, and superfecta.
So box it up, in other words.
Yeah.
All right. So Tom says, go on over to Kentucky Downs today instead of Horseshoe Indianapolis. Yeah, they're not too far apart from each other. Maybe do both. Yep. Tomorrow, Tom and I will be back to wrap up Kentucky Downs with closing days at Foreign Fridays in the U.S. on Wednesday with Tom. So make sure you tune in for that. Make sure you tell your friends about it if they're into the Kentucky Downs. Last time we were there, the 2 times we did it, I had very good days at that quirky track. Except I didn't hit the pick 5 simply because my second horse won and every other one my first pick won. So hopefully tomorrow we can square all that up, do a little bit of better ticket construction. And a little bit later on, well, right now, I'm not too far from now, the first post time for Finger Lakes is probably not all that far away. So make sure you head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below. You'll see Finger Lakes is free. The track is good today, and in race number 1, Quesadilla, spelled funnily, is a best bet of the day at 4-1. That's a pretty good line for a best bet, Gary.
Yeah, very good.
And then a little bit later on today, there will be, I think, a fantastic show once again with Jamie and Sean at Horse Center at 8 o'clock. you're going to want to tune in for Susan Packard. This woman has done just about everything. She's a entrepreneur, the first woman on the board of directors at Churchill Downs, keynote speaker at the Racing Women's Summit at Santa Anita. This is a can't miss show. If you're if there's a female in your family, or you are a lady who wants to get into horse racing or know about the females and how they can make an impact on the sport, tune in for this one at 8:00. It is an absolute can't miss. I think she actually founded like HGTV or something like that too, Terry.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just a phenomenal track record of success. Make sure you tune in for Susan Packard tonight. Going to be a great show. Kind of one I'm sad that Jamie's hosting and not I am, right?
Well, break in on him and help him.
I'm gonna photobomb him, Terry. For sure. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I will be back to cover Kentucky Downs. I'm not quite sure what we'll be doing Thursday with Charles when he makes his return. Terry's going to be out of here after today. Terry, I don't think I missed anything. Any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here? Oh, one quick thing. I usually run down our full card picks right at the end of the show. So let me do that real quick. Here's our full card picks. Terry's coming out of the box. We're going to come out swinging at each other because Terry has his best bet. I have my long shot. It's a battle of Rich and Terry in race number 1. Race number 2 is my box sit up. So make sure you check that out again. That's 4 horses where we put together for an exacta, trifecta, superfecta. Terry is putting his together in race number 4. Terry's long shots in race number 5. My best bet is in race number 6. Put the 2 together for a potential daily double. Hot dog pick 4 in race 1 for Terry, $18. Mine's $18. Some different combination of 3, 3, 2, 2. And then finally, our prime rib pick 4. And I think this last 4 races in the pick 4, there's going to be some bombs coming in because you have a lot of first-time starters. You have some cards where there's really not prohibitive favorites. And then you have a bunch of scratches really altering race shapes. Just a lot of craziness going on there, Terry. Yeah. All right. I think that wraps it up. Any final thoughts before we get up and get out of here?
Well, first I want to thank Tom because Tom sent me some picks for Australia racing at Rosehill. And
you finally had a winner then?
Well, out of the 5 races, he gave me 2 winners and 2 seconds. So it was really, really nice. I appreciate when he does that. So other than that, just everybody have a great day. Give your loved ones a big hug and a kiss. As we said over and over, there's just so many minutes in a day and life goes by really quick. Seems like to me, I was 16 just yesterday and now here I am almost 74. So,
50 years, man. Where'd they go? 50 years, man. I don't know.
They go
kind
fast.
Of paraphrase Bob Seger, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely. Well, Terry's absolutely right. One other thing he forgot to say was, and since we're in a musical thing, we'll do a little journey. Be good to yourself, because if you're not good to yourself, who else will, right? So make sure you take care of yourself as well. Probably some of the best advice I ever got in my life. It was a guy named Emil who was immigrant from Germany, high school graduate, worked with his hands, and he started a Mack truck business here in Chicago, fixing Mack trucks, became a multi-millionaire. And I asked him, Emil, what is the secret to success? And he said, Rich, the number one thing you can do is make yourself happy. So if you make yourself happy, what happens is everybody else around you is happy too, because what you build, they all benefit from. So be good to yourself, make yourself happy today, whether that's at Horseshoe Indianapolis, Kentucky Downs, whatever it is that you're doing in your life today, make yourself happy. And the easiest way to do that, Terry, would make sure that your day, your picks, and everything that you do ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic day. And remember, be good to yourself.